I am Puss in Boots.
Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
As the final major animated release of the year, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is almost certainly being put forth as a candidate for Oscar Gold at next year's Academy Awards ceremony. I doubt that it'll have much trouble competing with the other animated movie currently in theaters, Strange World.
Puss in Boots doesn't need a spotter.
After a 12-year hiatus, the Shrek saga finally returns to a theater near you. Not with the big green ogre himself or his scene-stealing buddy Donkey, but with their third wheel, a fencing cat. So sit back, relax, and come along as I dive into Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And oh yeah, there will be spoilers. We begin with Puss himself filling us in on the origin of the wishing star and how it fell to earth and can grant a single wish to whosoever happens to find it. He subsequently hosts a Fiesta Grande in the village of Del Mar. It's essentially a stop on some sort of tour during which he distributes gold and sings to the crowd. Anyway, Cat Fancy's guitar solo is interrupted by the owner of the venue, who orders the furry outlaw arrested immediately. He doesn't surrender, of course, fighting off various swordsmen and even bragging that he's never even been touched by a blade. However, the melee is unceremoniously broken up by the arrival of a giant who'd been awakened by the racket and rips the roof off of the building before snatching partygoers up. Our hero intervenes and brings the Colossus down, only to be crushed himself by a falling bell. Ironically, it's the same bell that he used to kill the giant. Dumbass. After waking up in the village veterinarian/barber's office, Grumpy Cat is made to realize that he's now on his ninth and therefore final life. He recounts his previous hilarious and completely avoidable deaths before refusing the doctor's advice that he retire and storming off. Finding himself in the local saloon, Garfield meets a wolf, whom he assumes is a bounty hunter and almost immediately challenges to a duel. Easily bested, the aptly named Puss runs away upon realizing that the wolf has spilled his blood, escaping through a nearby sewer. He subsequently holds a funeral for himself, burying his sword and clothes before sinking into a self-pitying depression. After simping his way into the home of a local woman named Mama Luna, Salem is given a bath, dressed in mittens and a collar, and renamed Pickles. While he's used to relieving himself in toilets while standing, the cat lady insists that he use the litter box like the dozens of her other feline adoptees. His spirit broken, Nermal eventually becomes institutionalized, adapting to his new routine and growing a beard. Meanwhile, a quartet of British hooligans, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, sets their sights on him. Back at the cat house, Heathcliff is befriended by Perito, a weird dog masquerading as a cat in order to get access to a share of the kitty chow. Blondie and the Bears eventually track Felix to Luna's house and muscle their way in, leaning on the ladder for info on her latest rescue. A bit of eavesdropping reveals that the group only wants to find Morris so that they can employ him to steal the map to the fallen star from the no longer little Jack Horner. Beating Goldie and company to Horner's place, Azrael runs into his old flame, Kitty Softpaws, another cat who the Bears wanted to hire for the job. When they arrive, a four-way standoff ensues, leading to Puss and Kitty escaping together and fighting over the map during a high-speed wagon chase. The map leads them to the dark forest, with Perito in tow. When Kitty refuses to give Sylvester access to the map, he pulls his big-eyed manipulation move, which she matches. When that's settled, each cat is shown a different but equally treacherous path, while the dog's route is simple and easy. While on the trail, both Kitty and Puss are attacked by the same flowers that help Perito along the way. When he reveals his background, it becomes clear that Perito's family tried to drown him as a child. And when Jack catches up to the Bears, he beats them down and continues to hunt. When he's blocked by the flowers, he uses a phoenix as a flamethrower, burning them down. Meanwhile, the cats bond while Kitty gives Lionel a shave. But immediately afterwards, Jack and Little Bo Creep arrive, inciting a brawl, during which Puss spots the wolf and promptly hauls ass. When Perito catches up to him, he calms his panic attack with the tale of how he left Softpaws at the altar in the town of Santo Colombo years earlier. But in all the confusion, Goldie managed to snag the map. She and the Berenstain Bears soon come upon a mirage of a cabin equipped with comfy chairs and porridge. Puss apologizes to Kitty, only to learn that she also failed to show for the wedding, out of fear that the Cheshire Cat loved himself so much that he'd never have any love left for her. Concurrently, Jack confesses to his conscious cricket that his wish is to claim all of the world's magic for himself, leaving none for anybody else. Elsewhere, the Blundercats track down the bears and re-steal the map. Unfortunately, Perito is captured and Shere Khan ends up trapped inside the Cave of Souls, coming face to face with his former lives. Blonde Fury and Baby Bear argue, inspiring Perito to playfully insult them all. Back in the cave, Panthero's episode of These Are Your Lives is interrupted by the arrival of the wolf, who reveals that he's actually the embodiment of death. Hauling ass again, Snagglepuss breaks free of the cave and right past Kitty and Perito. In fact, he runs so far that he finds the star itself. At the same time, when Baby Bear questions her motives, Blonde Ambition blurts out that her wish is to have a real family, which hurts the bears. At the star, Chitara confesses that she wishes to finally find someone whom she can trust. Another standoff ensues when Jack and the Care Bears arrive. Of course, another fracas breaks out, during which Jack's sole remaining minion is lost to the magic emanating from the star, and Jack is kicked into his bottomless bag of tricks. Before anyone can make a wish, the wolf shows up and challenges Tigger to another one-on-one. Though he overpowers his opponent in swashbuckling fashion, Snagglepuss tells him that he realizes that he can't truly defeat him, but vows to never stop fighting for his remaining life. Surprised by Snarf's personal growth, the wolf concedes, for the time being. Having escaped his bag, Jack grabs the map, but before he can complete his wish, the others team up to take him down, leaving him to be launched into space along with the star. Afterwards, Hello Kitty and Goldie realize that their respective wishes have already come true. Goldie and the Hair Bear bunch depart as a family. The felines resume their relationship, and they head to Far, Far Away along with Perito and the stolen ship. In keeping with the pattern of the series, the last wish is on the mature side of the family film spectrum. Its themes of loneliness and facing mortality are aimed at adults at least as much as the kiddos, which unfortunately isn't enough to make it worth either demographic's time. The jokes and fairy tale references largely seem to be culled from the editing room floor of the original Shrek. And instead of reuniting with Shrek and Donkey, headliner Antonio Banderas reteams with his Desperado and first Puss in Boots movie co-star Salma Hayek. And the animation style is a departure from the usual Shrek look. If you really want to watch an animated movie about lonely souls finding each other, skip this trash and check out WALL-E instead. In other news, it's time to highlight some comments that we got on other shows. After watching my fresh out of the theater reaction to Avatar: The Way of Water, the expert 843 said, I was thinking about going to see it in 3D because of the spectacle aspect, but I keep asking myself, do I really care about the characters that much? I don't see how anybody can care. They're barely characters at all, 843. In response to the review of The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray, Lana Danielle commented, I find it comical when John goes off the subject and apologizes. LOL. Me and you both, Lana. Anyway, shout out to the expert 843 and Lana Danielle for dropping comments. And shout out to everybody who hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But I've had enough of this conversation and I'm logging off.
Fully cinematic.
Bad news. You died. Doctor.
Relax! I am Puss in Boots! I have 9 lives!
And how many times have you died already?